you very much, guys, for joining in. Thank you for registering and choosing to be a part of this. My name is Njabulo Makatini, and here on the other screen is my business partner, Tsepang Kubo, and we are the co-founders of Airbuy. And simply what Airbuy is, it's an online payment gateway that allows people to be able to pay online without the need of using their banking details. So even though we are in the payment space, we felt the responsibility of being able to do these sessions so that we add our input into the ecosystem. The growth of our business relies on the growth also of small business. So hence we felt the need of starting these sessions where we are working together with Amazon to bring these sessions for you guys. We know now with especially the lockdown and the situation that our country is in, small business are really suffering a lot, and the few businesses that are going to sort of survive this are businesses that adapt to the online space, because even after the lockdown, there's still going to be a lot of social distancing that is going to be practiced. So people are still going to be working from home and everything of that sort. So now more than ever, we are forced to sort of have our online stores to have an e-commerce presence, digital presence ready. So simply that's the vision, and that's what simply inspired these sessions. We started planning them from last year. It's not something that we did seeing what's happening now, because we knew that there was a need. Entrepreneurs need a lot of help as far as setting up their online platforms as well as growing them. So we are also going to be having physical ones once the lockdown is done. We're going to be doing them at J&B Hive. And simply that's the plan with that. We are working together with Amazon AWS, and in simple, what Amazon simply does is they are pretty much a home for all the best and state-of-the-art digital products. So simply what it provides is from your cloud services, many other tools that are very quite key, used by corporates and used by startups. So for example, this platform that we're using now is an AWS product. So meaning that since you guys are working from your homes, you can definitely use products like these to sort of have virtual meetings with your teams as well as your business connects. So we are definitely, you being a part of Amazon AWS is really going to open you up to a lot of opportunities and a lot of benefits that they provide. They definitely leading and doing a lot, especially for the startups and entrepreneurs. So definitely, if you haven't got registered your account yet, please do register your account so that you can be in line for the awesome benefits that they provide. Now, anyone who has been struggling with getting on board as far as registering their AWS account, do hit us up with Sepang, and we will simply assist you with that. So without any waste of time, I'll hand over quickly to Tsepang. It's going to be a really quick overview of how to set up your online store using the tools provided by AWS. So we are also going to be available after the technical workshop. We know that there is people who have their laptops open and who are going to be building with us as we go. But we also know that there's people who, because of where their online store is or where their business is, they've already started and they joined us because they just wanted to get information and get started. That's allowed. This is the first one, so it's going to be a very holistic overview. We'll definitely appreciate your feedback as far as what can be added and what can be done, so that on the next we know where to focus on. So even after this workshop, we are going to be available with Tshepang for any one-on-one queries. We will share our contact details and for those that don't have as yet. Can we also kindly switch off our microphones and cameras if possible? Bendulo, can you switch off your microphone and camera if possible? Yeah, the camera. Can you switch off your camera and microphone so that? Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for everyone else who did the same. So yeah, we will be available also in a one-to-one call to assist anyone with any queries, because we also know that different companies have different are at different stages of building their online stores. So without any waste of time, I'll hand over to Tshepang. The first portion of the workshop is going to be a bit technical, but let that not intimidate you. As long as you follow the steps as Tshepang is going to be guiding you, it's going to make sense. But once we now start to building the online store, that's going to be simpler. We're also recording this session. So for anyone who's going to need in future, we'll send you the link so that at the comfort of your own home, you are able to now follow the steps again. But as we had said, we are available for queries and questions. If anyone sort of has a question or concern around audio, maybe they can't hear us, there's on your right hand side, there's a chat board. So feel free to add it there on the chat. And then anyone with any questions around the Amazon AWS tools, product, or anything of that sort, do let us know. We will forward your query to the AWS team, and then we'll sort of give you the response when that's done. Without any waste of time, over to you, Tshepang, to begin with the screen sharing session.
Hello guys, I'm Tshepang. I'm gonna start off by just sharing my screen, and then from there on, I'm gonna take you through an introduction of a bit of like theory so you can understand what's going on. And then I'll basically take you through a few steps. So we're gonna go through creating the website and creating the online store, and then getting a payments method onto your online store. So I just want to check if everyone can see my screen. And Jabula, is my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, these are the steps that we will go through, and then we'll try to be. I'll try to be concise and descriptive as well, and then yeah. So let's get started. So as an introduction, you need two main things to get an online store running. Mainly, you need a domain and you need an instance, or some people call it a website or web server. So how you can think of that is basically you need somewhere where your website is going to live. So think about it as a whole. And then you also need an address to your website. So that's when the domain name comes in. So that's what a domain name is. So those are the two basic things. You need a domain name and you need a web server or an instance. So that's what we're going to start with. Creating the house for your website and creating the address for your website. So assuming that you've created an AWS account, we're gonna first use some AWS services. So when you sign up for AWS, you get access to a whole lot of services. Right now we're using what's called AWS Chime. So it's a video conferencing service. But for building the website, we're gonna need something different. So I tried to look for something very simple for people who are not familiar with building websites and stuff like that. So what I've chosen involves minimal amount of code, and it's a product that's been built as an introductory to building websites and things like that. So you're gonna go to the AWS Management Console. So that's where you end up after you've created your AWS account and you've logged in. This is the first thing you'll see. So Njabula, can you just mute yourself there?
I think it's Alex as well. Axel, can you please mute your audio?
Okay. Yeah, getting back to the AWS console. So once you're inside, you've registered and all of that. Now that you're inside, you go to the search pane where it says Find Services, and you look for what's called Lightsail. So here it is. So Lightsail, like it's written here, it's a virtual private server. So what that basically means is that you get your own computer. That's where your the website is gonna live. So you're getting a home for your website. So you click on it, and then it takes you to the Amazon Lightsail console. So here I've already created something, but I'll just go through the steps. So here we're gonna create what's called an instance. So on your virtual private server, which meaning the home of your website, we create an instance. That instance will be what your website will be running on. So to create an instance, you see the orange button here that's written create instance. You just click on it, let it load a bit, and then here you choose a location. So we're just gonna choose this region, the Virginia East. And then after choosing your region, so you're gonna choose the operating system for your instance. So meaning what your computer's gonna run on. So there's two available. Usually people use Linux or Unix, but Microsoft also has an operating system you can use, but just choose this one. And then you're gonna choose an application which will provide the framework for your website. So there are lots of applications here. There's WordPress, there's Node.js, Joomla, but we're not interested in all of these. To make it easier for ourselves, we're gonna use WordPress. So WordPress is a framework that allows you to, it gives you a website and then you can just go there and customize it. So you choose, we're gonna choose WordPress here. And then just scroll down. So here they offer you a description of what WordPress is. And then yeah, you just scroll down. So I'm just gonna mainly focus on the things that you need to get started. So after choosing WordPress, you can see there's a price plan indicated. And then those different packages, they offer you different kinds of deals. So we're gonna choose the 3.5 for this session. but it's up to you what you want to use. But if you're just starting out, it's usually just pick the cheapest and most user-friendly package. So here they're giving us about like 20 gigs of space and all these other things. So after you've chosen your price plan, you have to name your instance. So here, WordPress, you can just add another description and say, we'll just name this one the workshop. So this will be the instance where your website lives. And then from there on, you can just create the instance. So I've already created an instance, so we'll just go to the one that I've created. So after clicking create instance, it's gonna set up your machine, and then it's gonna start running. So now here's the instance that I've created. So I click on it, and then it shows right here. There's what's called the private IP and the static IP stuff, and then here's what's called a public IP. So what these numbers stand for, they're like an address to where to find your instance. So where your website is, it's here. So it's 52.205. But usually people, we don't remember websites like that. So what people started to work around was an easier way to name websites. So then came what's called the domain name system. So usually that involves stuff like www.nike.com. That's how people usually remember websites. www.facebook. That's how you remember. You don't remember 52.205.126. No. So you have to create what's called a domain name. So we can just pause on Lightsail for now and then go back to the AWS Console. So Amazon Web Services AWS offers what's called Route 53. So Route 53 allows you to buy domain names. So we'll just type in Route 53 and then go to it. So what happens on Route 53 is where you can buy domain names. So when you buy a domain name, you type the domain name of the name that you want, and then it will show you if it's available or not. So for example, I will type Airbuy Labs, and then it will tell me if it's available. I just check. But for the purposes of this exercise, we've already bought a domain. So if you want to know how to buy a domain, there's lots of exercises you can just Google online, but we can also share some links. So let's assume that you've already bought a domain. What you do is that you have to connect the domain name. So since I've bought airbuylabs.com, I have to connect this name to my instance. I have to connect it to this IP address. So it's connecting airbuylabs.com to 52.205.126.57 so that it's easier for people to be able to access my site. So to do that, you go to Lightsail, go to the home home page of Lightsail, and then you go to the networking tab. So there's different tabs here. You just go to the networking tab, and then there's 3 things you can create here. So to first connect your instance to the domain name, you first create what's called a static IP. So what does that mean? It means when your instance is created for the first time, it has what's called a public IP, the one I've been reading out. So that public IP changes when the instance is rebooted. So like when you restart the instance, that public IP can change. So when you create a static IP means it doesn't change. So that you create an IP address that doesn't change, even if you reboot your instance. So you go and create a static IP, and I'm just gonna stick to the Virginia region, and then you click there, and then you create a name for your static IP. So I've created one already, and then yeah. So Amazon provides tutorials on these things as well, so we can also share them if you're a bit unclear. So once you've created your static IP, it will show here. So this is the static IP I created. So this static IP is attached to the instance I created. So what happens when you create a static IP is that you're given a few records. So let me just go back to the home and then click on my instance and click on networking. So you can see here's the static IP here. Yeah. So then the next step is to connect this to my domain name. So how I create it is I go to home, come here to networking, and then I create what's called a domain name zone, a DNS zone. So you create it here. So when you create one, you just since you've bought a domain name, you enter it here. So I'll enter airbylabs.com, and then I press enter. So I've created one already. So what happens, I'll just go back. Here's the one I created. So when you create a DNS zone, what happens, you are given what's called name servers. So these are the name servers that you're given. So what these basically do is they help in connecting your domain name to your instance. So what you'll do, you'll copy these name servers and you go back to Route 53. On the Route 53 dashboard, you go to what's called hosted zones. And then you go to your domain name. So here you'll see what's called records. So what you're looking for is called the name server, the NS. You're looking for these. You click on it, and then it will say to you, you can edit the record set. So what you want to do is change these record sets So the name server record sets you received from Lightsail, these ones, you take them and you paste them here on route 53. So you just paste them there and then you save the record set. So I've already done that. I was just showing you how you're gonna do it. And then you say save record set. So all of these things, they just are built for you to connect the IP address to the domain name. Then you're gonna go back to Lightsail, and then you're gonna just go to home, go to the networking, and go to your static IP. Remember, we created a static IP address. So you take this static IP address and you copy it, and you go back to route 53, and you create what's called you create a record that's called the A record. So the type of the record you're gonna create is called an A record, which takes in a value of the IP address. So this is where you paste the static IP address. So this means when people type airbylabs.com, they will land on the website we've created. So I created that record here. So as you can see, this is the name of my web address, the IP address. So I've put in the static IP address here. So the next step is to check my website. So I'm just gonna come here and just type in airbylabs.com, and then this is where it takes me. So when we created that instance using WordPress, this is the website they created for us. So here you can see the website. It's not looking, it's just a generic version. You'll just have to start editing. So now we're gonna go into working on the website we've created. So to edit this website, what you have to do is to log in. So to log in, you'll just type your domain name, your web address, /wp login. So WP meaning WordPress login. And then you say enter. So here it asks for a username and password. So where do you get these things? So you have to go back to Lightsail, and then at your instance, there's an icon for what's called terminal access. You'll see it's sort of like the matrix. So we're gonna enter into the terminal. So here, what you're gonna see, it's called a command line. So here, you just talk to the computer using specific commands, but you're just gonna write one line of code to receive our credentials. So that line is this. So it's cat bitnami underscore credentials. So from there, you just press enter. So this is the only line of code you're gonna see. So after pressing enter, what happens is they tell you the default username and password is user and this. So this is gonna be the password. So what you do, you go back to the WordPress login and you type user, and then here you type in the password that's given here. This is the password you're gonna type. But when you create your own instance, you're gonna receive a different password. So I'm just gonna copy that and then go to my thing here and then just paste it here. And then I log in. Yeah, so now we are inside what's called WordPress. So WordPress, like I said, is a pre-packaged software that has a website ready built for you. You don't really need any coding here. They just you just have to learn how to do certain things, and then yeah. So the main reason we are here on WordPress is to have what's called an online store. So on WordPress, there are people who've coded websites, there's people who've coded online stores for you. So all you have to do is search for those apps that they've built already and then install them. So you do that by first going to, on the left pane, there's what's called plugins. You click there and then you say add new plugin. So the plugin that we're gonna use is called WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is a already built online store that you can just install. So you type WooCommerce there and then it will appear. So what you're looking for is WooCommerce by Automatic. As you can see here, it has over 5 million active installations. So you just click on install now, then it's gonna start installing. After it has installed, you click activate. So from there on, you go to the WooCommerce dashboard here. So what happens here, you can just see it gives you like various options of what's going on. So what you want to do is create a product. So you just scroll down and come to here. Product, you say add new product. So on this portion, it helps if you have a picture of your product that you're gonna put on the online store. So we're just gonna, I've got dummy products here. Let me show you that we're gonna use. So yeah, let me just switch back to this. Yeah. So I'm gonna create a product, a partition. And then I go to the right side. There's a pane here. I go to product image, and then I come here and I upload the image that I want. So I just search for my image where I put it. So I just picked the image of my product, and then that's it. So it's a pink partition, and then here, and then I just put in the price. So let's say about 900 Rand, and then here you'll see like there's various options to add more details to the product you put in. So if you have a lot of product, you can have the inventory, if you've got SKU numbers, all those things. But we're just gonna focus on the simple things for now. So I'll just put in my price. And then if you wanna add a description for your shoe, you just write whatever stuff here. So like ladies pink shoe. Then after all that, you say publish. So what's gonna happen now? To see the product you've joined.
Yes.
I think there's someone who.
Kindly mute your mic, Angelo, I think.
I think
Angelo, kindly mute your mic, please.
I'll just go into.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we want to see the product that we've uploaded. So what happens? Let me just. So on the dashboard, after you've published your product, you can go here and say visit store. So there it is, the party shoe. So now I want to add other products. So I go to products. Here's my party shoe. So these are different products that I added earlier on. So I'll just delete it to avoid confusion. So we're gonna go back to our store. Visit store. Then here you can see is the party shoe. So you can just add to cart. So this is what your customers are gonna be viewing. So then, just you see, so it tells you that the prices and stuff like that. So this is how people are gonna view. And then here you can see people can add the information, delivery address of where they want the product to be delivered. And here there's various payment options to choose from. So if you do cash on delivery, and then people will place the order here. So now, as you can see, the site is not like, it's just a template. What you want to do is to customize it for yourself. So you just come here to customize on the top left corner. So here you can just edit, excuse me. So here we'll just say Airbuy layouts. And then you can add a tagline. So our tagline will be let's learn, let's build. Yeah, just yeah. Let's learn, let's build. And then here you can select an icon for your website. So it's these things are the icons that appear. You can see on Amazon Chime has an icon, AWS has an icon. So what you want to do, you can upload a picture of your icon. Then just go to where you find it. So yeah. So I'll just click on the Airbuy icon. And then I select it. It's gonna say crop it out. So as you can see, this is what's gonna appear there. So I crop the image. So my site icon has been set. Then you just say publish. And then you go back. So what WordPress also enables you to do is to change how your website looks. So the colors and the font, all those things, they're what's called a theme. So you can go to the WordPress dashboard, and then you go to appearances on the left pane and you choose themes. So there's lots of themes that you can choose from. People usually pick a theme called Storefront. So it's a theme that's free and it's designed for people who have or who want to build online stores. So you can just say activate, and the theme will be activated. So there's other themes that you can buy. So it's based on a subscription. So you pay a certain amount a year, and then there's themes that are free. So now I can go back to my store and you'll see that it has changed. So it's no longer that pink color that you used to see. So now I'm gonna add 2 more products so you can get a feel of what you're gonna see. So how do I add my products? Go back to my dashboard, go to products, then I say add new product. I just pick here, I'll add another party product. You add the title of your product, go to the right side, you select an image. So I upload another picture of the product that I'm gonna upload. So from here, so I just pick that. So here you can add additional attributes to your product, but yeah. So what WordPress is a very popular application. So there's a lot of tutorials available online. You can search for them. If you want to know how to do a certain task, you can just search on WordPress. So I've added the product image. I must add the price. So let's suppose it's 1,200. And then if there's a sale on the product, you want to push sales, you can add. So let's say the sale for this shoe will be for 1,000, and then you publish. Let's add one more product. So go type in the name of your product, go to the right page, create an image, upload a file, click there. On the image you're going to upload, and then set it there. Write in the price, then you just publish. So now what you're gonna do is view your store. So you can see this is the changes I've made. It used to be users blog. Now it's Airbuy Labs. Here's my tagline. Let's learn, let's build. And then on my website, here's the shop. On the shop, you can see here's the products I've added. You can see here there's a sale for the, remember we added a sale for the blue shoe. And then yeah, so these are all the products. So now I'm gonna go and add a payment method, the Airbuy payment method. So what you do, you go to airbuy.africa, and then you sign up as a seller. Once you've signed up, you'll be able to log in. So once you log in, so you sign up with your cell number, and then you enter the password that you've created, the PIN, and you go to the Airbuy business account. So here's just a dummy account we've created, and you can see this is the name of the company, but yeah, like I said, it's a dummy account. They've added you can add an icon, meaning your company logo, and then you can be able to see the sales, how much you've earned, and stuff. But here, what we're looking for is what's called an access key or API key. So this is what we want here. So once you've signed up for a business account on Airbuy, what you do, you go back to your website, go to the dashboard, go to plugins, and what you want to do is add a new plugin. So the Airbuy plugin is available on WordPress. So you just search for it, type Airbuy, and then there it is. You say install, and then activate. So what you want to do, you go to to be able to access and set the Airbuy payment method, you say go to WooCommerce, go to settings. From there, this is where like you type information about the online store and stuff like that. But what we're interested in now is the payment section. So there's different payment sections. So what we have working is the cash on delivery and the Airbuy payment method. So you click on manage. So what you do now is you have to add what's called the API key. So the API key is what you get when you go back to the Airbuy business account. This thing right here, this is the API key. You copy it. So this is just a dummy API key. So you just copy it, go back to your website, and then you paste it here. And then don't forget to save your changes. And then you're done. So what's going to happen now is when you go to your website, what we're going to do is make a dummy purchase. So what happens? Let's say you add this to cart, add that to the cart. You have 3 items in your cart. So you go to checkout. So this is what people will be doing. So they fill in their names and all of that, the address for the delivery. So as you can see now, at first it was cash on delivery, but now there's also an Airbuy payment method. So people who have Airbuy accounts can just click here and pay with Airbuy. So yeah, that's all. So what we've covered creating our domain and instance, meaning our website. And then we've covered connecting our instance to our domain. We've covered logging into WordPress and installing WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is that plugin that builds your online store for you. And then we've also created a product, and we've also created a payment method. So yeah, that's it. So there are additional things that you'll have to have. As you can see here, it says the site is not secure. So that involves having what's called the SSL certificate, but you can just read up on that. For now, all you have to do is just focus on what we've learned today. Just gonna switch back. And yeah. I think I can hand over to Njawulo. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now. And Njawulo?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Thank you very much, guys. We know that was probably like a lot right now, but we tried to cover the basics. These are going to be the basics of everything that we're going to be doing going forward. We know that your businesses have different needs, but we knew that these basics would work for everyone. So from here going forward, we'll just engage with you over emails. We'll send you emails of the session. And with that, let's have, please give us your feedback as far as where your business is and what e-commerce needs do you have, so that we can sort of try assist you with your own individual need that your company has. So feel free to drop us an inbox if you have any questions, whether it's around building the store, or whether it's around getting the domain, or whether it's around protecting your website as far as SSL certificates and everything of that sort. We will freely sort of engage, as well as give you more information from AWS of what tools are available for you. Also, do remember to create your AWS account so that you can get the many benefits that comes with being part of AWS, which is benefits such as getting technical support from AWS, getting mentorship from AWS, getting access to a world of tools, state-of-the-art tools that you can sort of use, as well as they can also assist with PR for your company, depending on where your company is. They can sort of help you get the word out there. So thank you very much for attending. I will be sending everyone an email. We did record this session, so I'll send you a link of this session so that at the comfort and the pace of your business, you'll be able to create your own online store. And then remember, any questions or queries that you might have from AWS, do let us know. Any tools that you might be looking for regarding AWS, do let us know. We'll contact the AWS team and give you feedback, whether it's around databasing, whether it's around tools to use, whether it's around storage or cloud computing. They have all the state-of-the-art equipment. So thank you very much for participating in the session. I know online sessions are a bit tricky because internet connection is a concern, and there's just not that person-to-person kind of engagement. We will try to do as much as we can, and you will be informed via email as far as other events that we are going to do. If fortunately the lockdown ends as promised, then we will be doing more physical ones. And I think with those, we'll have a better opportunity and more time to sort of engage with you guys. So thanks again to the people we're working with at AWS for their support and all that they do for entrepreneurs within the space. So if you have any question, concerns, do let us know. Our goal is not just to give you information, but we want every one that we engage and everyone who attends our session or interacts with us to be able to get to a point where they launch their online store. So that is our ultimate goal. As we said, this is not an information session like the other webinars that you attend, but this one is a technical workshop. So we do want to help you with any bottlenecks that you might have in your company, all the way to launch and everything of that sort. So yeah, let's do that, and let's keep safe, and let's push on to help our businesses survive through this period. So thank you very much for attending. We'll be in touch via emails, and I'll give you all the contact details as well where you can sort of touch base with us. Thank you very much.